With Matt Canada looking like he's on the way out, please God Steelers, no internal promotions this time. Hello, Steeler Nation, and thank you for finding another video from the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate and tuning in. It is fantastic to have so many Steeler fans watch this content. Remember, this is a fan-driven channel. Myself and Mark are Steelers fans with over 50 years of supporting the black and gold between us. We are Steelers fans, me from England, Mark from Australia, providing you daily content on the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys. If you are diehard black and gold fans, if you love the Pittsburgh Steelers, then hit that sub, ring that notification, guys. It's free. I'm not asking for a penny for it. It is absolutely free, or a cent. Sorry, penny's English. Anyway, guys, today we're going to talk about Matt Canada. And if Canada goes, who is going to come next? Now, first of all, let's deal with the whole Matt Canada situation. And before you think, oh, it's just another Canada video, now, I want to also talk about the impact this may have on the team, on the wisdom of this coming out now, and how truthful this rumor actually could be. Now, where did the rumor come from? Well, the rumor came from Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post Gazette. He was talking on 93.7 The Fan. Now, I've been talking to a couple of my Steelers sources, my Steelers insiders. I have a couple of friends who are insiders with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they were telling me that when Ray Fittipaldo comes out with the story, it's usually 99.9% reliable, and it's 99.9% true. Ray has some good sources in the Steelers front office and in the locker room, and when he comes out with a story like this, it's 99.9% of the time it's true. So, let's just take this as it's going to happen. Let's take it as the fact that Matt Canada is going to be out of a job at the end of this season. Now, it appears that obviously the people in the front office know, that people in the Steelers organization know, and people in the Steelers coaching staff know. But more worryingly, the playing staff also know that Matt Canada will be gone at the season's end. Now, it's a very strange time for this to come out with 2 games to go. It's a very odd time as well, to bring this out into the media, and why it's been leaked now. We can only guess at that. But, with obviously the rumours that have been since the bye week, even in the bye week, there was rumours that Canada could be let go. But obviously Tomlin immediately quashed those rumours. But now it looks like the rumours of the departure of Matt Canada are true. Now, for me, there's, whatever you think of Matt Canada, whether you think that he's finally getting it right and he needs to be given a chance, or whether you think that he's absolutely garbage and awful, he needs to go now rather than in 2 games' time, or whether you like Steve Smith and you think that he's Saturday night rather than Sunday afternoon, then that's your right to choose that, isn't it? That's your right. We all have an opinion. It's we all have the right to that opinion, and as long as we are constructive when we discuss the opinion, that is the main thing. But is this the right time now? Is this undermining Canada and undermining the Steelers' offense going into arguably 2 of the most important games of the season? Now, I know what you're thinking. Realistically, there's probably not a great chance the Steelers are going to make the playoffs, given the fact there's so many other results have got to go their way for them to make it. But if those results go their way and the Steelers win out, they do get to the playoffs. What happens if the offense goes off in the last 2 games? Then what does the position change? Is this story not true? What do the Steelers do? But how does it make the players look at Canada as a leader? When you know that person isn't going to be there next season, are you inclined to tune it back a bit, listen a little bit less, not have the same respect for the guy? You might have had no respect for him anyway, but you know what I mean? A situation where you could actually have a little bit less respect for him, and it could undermine the Steelers' chances of winning out in their last 2 games if the offense are not fully committed to buying into whatever scheme Canada is putting out there. Now, whether we like it or not, that scheme that Canada puts out against the Ravens and against the Browns is the scheme we're going to have to work with. That's what we're going to, they're not going to change their coordinator now. They're not going to, whatever happens to Canada in the season, he's not going anywhere now. So he will be calling the plays for the next 2 weeks. So has this leak effectively undermined him and undermined the Steelers' offense? That's the question that you've got to ask yourself. Now, I was listening to Noah Strackbine on All Steelers Talk earlier, my good mate Noah. Noah's a fantastic guy. Give All Steelers Talk a listen if you haven't already. And he was talking the same thing. He was utterly shocked that this news has come out now, not at this season's end. He is very much the same opinion as me, the fact that this is a bad time for the news to come out, because it pretty much undermines Canada in front of the players, and it leaves the players doubting, perhaps not 100% listening to what Canada says, perhaps looking elsewhere for leadership. And that's when the message can get mixed, the message can get confused. And that's when an offense can struggle even more. Now, given the fact that Steelers offense struggles in the red zone continually, it still is not putting up regularly 25 points plus, still averaging 17, 18 points a game. 24 points has been the highest recorded, in a winning performance, 30 points in a losing performance to the Bengals. But this offense is still not effective. And is this move going to make it even less effective with this news leaking out? That obviously is something that really does need to be thought about going into these last two games. So I do question the wisdom of allowing this decision to come out now. On top of that, we've talked a little bit about, obviously, Canada going. So that would obviously leave a job opportunity. Now, in past years, the Steelers have gone for this very incestuous approach of promoting from within. A lot of promotion from within going on. A GM promoted from within, a defensive coordinator promoted from within, an offensive coordinator promoted from within. Steelers have not really appointed outside the organization since I think it was Todd Haley. Now, where does Steelers go next for an offensive coordinator? Obviously, if you look at the offensive staff, you've got Eddie Faulkner, the running backs coach, Alfredo Roberts, who is the tight ends coach, Frisman Jackson, who is the wide receivers coach. You've got Mike Sullivan, who is the quarterbacks coach. Now, all these guys are obviously on Canada's staff and have obviously bought into Canada's scheme this year. Realistically, you wouldn't want to see one of those guys take over as offensive coordinator. Now, realistically, none of those guys are really shouting out as bin candidates. Frisman Jackson, obviously, I think is probably one of the leading ones as a wide receivers coach, and obviously Mike Sullivan as the quarterbacks coach. But as we know, Mike Sullivan's done this job before. He's been an offensive coordinator before, and a very poor offensive coordinator in New York for the Giants. So realistically, that is not the way we need to be going, as we move towards next season. Also, is that Frisman Jackson could get the opportunity? I read at the start of the season when he came in from Carolina that he had been talked of previously as an OC. Is that something the Steelers might look at? We know what the Steelers are like for promoting from within, how they love promoting from within, for two reasons, in my opinion. Number one, it's the cheapest option. And number two, also, it is apparently Mike Tomlin, who is against bringing in, top high-level talent from outside because he sees it as undermining his position and could call into question, and challenge him. And it's not something he likes, given his desire to micromanage most aspects of the game, or so the rumors go. Now, if Canada does go, then I realistically think we do need to look outside the organization. If the Steelers don't look outside the organization, if they again promote from within and give Frisman Jackson the job or Mike Sullivan the job, this would be a huge error. And I think we'd see an offense very much the same as this offense at this moment in time. And in a year's time, we'll be in exactly the same position with a poor record, a poor offense making very little progress, and a set of very talented offensive weapons doing not achieving their full potential. Now, if you look at the Steelers' offense as it currently is, there are a number of talented players in the offense. And if they had an aggressively minded, offensively minded coach who was in the same vein as, say, a Kyle Shanahan and Eric Bieniemy, a Sean McVay, and I know two of those are head coaches, but they were OCs. If you had someone like that coaching the offense, I honestly believe with the offensive weapons we've got, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, Pat Freiermuth, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Steven Sims, people like that, this offense would make progress and would put up 25 to 30 points a game. I honestly think they've got to look outside the organization, bring in new ideas, bring in fresh blood, bring in a fresh pair of eyes that can look at it and change it and make it evolve into a modern NFL offense, not an outdated offense like we are running at this moment in time, or a college offense that we are running at this moment in time. We have the defense, we've got an elite defense, but we need a good offense that can score the points, so the defense are not on the field as much, and that fantastic defense that holds teams under 20 points can be guaranteed, to help us win games because the offense is scoring 25, 30 points a game. Now, where should we look? Well, hopefully not Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett was one name I saw linked this week. Nathaniel Hackett is an awful coach. Number one, he had the offensive play calling duties in Denver taken off him when he was doing them because he was so bad, and Denver's offense stank worse than ours did. Number two, when he was in Green Bay, he didn't call the offensive plays. Coach LaFleur called the offensive plays, and obviously Aaron Rodgers had a part to play. So please God, not Nathaniel Hackett. Frank Reich has been linked, but apparently he would rather have a head coach's job. But if he didn't, if there was no head coach's job, I'd love to see someone like Frank Reich brought in, who did a great job with the Philadelphia Eagles in their Super Bowl winning season. If not, then it's up to the Steelers to look far and wide, look at quarterback coaches, look at other offensive coordinators who may be unsettled. Byron Leftwich, for example, ex-Steeler in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That could be another possibility. But the Steelers do need fresh blood. They need fresh eyes and a new voice coming onto the offense. Anyway, Steeler fans, let me know what you think below. Is Canada gone? And who would you like to see next? And before you say Ben, He ain't going to be offensive coordinator. He's already ruled it out. Okay, guys, let me know below who you'd like to see as our next offensive coordinator. And remember to hit that sub, ring that notification bell. Thanks for watching the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. I've been your host, Britsburgh Owen. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, as always, my fellow Steeler fans. Here we go, Steelers. Come on.